Work Hard, Playlist Hard, 2nd edition, written and narrated by Mike Warner. Introduction. This book shares everything I wish I knew when I started out. It also details vital parts of my journey, from a keen music lover and starving music producer to a successful streaming music nerd who makes a living in this beautiful, crazy industry. It is the result of many conversations with friends, artists, labels, and managers. I suggest grabbing a pen and paper. I've been a music lover my entire life, with a music collection of funk, hip-hop, punk, rock, electronic, ska, and everything in between. I spent 20 years DJing, hosted multiple podcasts and radio shows, helped numerous artists transition to becoming independent. I also produced music under various aliases and worked with a few background music services. After many years of trying to break into the music industry, applying to multiple jobs, I concluded that my resume was not strong enough. I decided to build my own opportunities through self-education. What I've learned is that artists today have more power, tools, and opportunity than ever before. They just need to be given the right knowledge to succeed. Many pieces of advice I share are inspired by a question from an artist. This book is written as though I am telling you how to set up an artist for success through the use of streaming services, all while building value in your brand through strong playlist curation. These insights are for artists, managers, label reps, or any of the many new roles in the music industry. This 2nd edition is no longer just focused on playlist pitching and curation. It has grown into so much more than that. It's packed full of tools and features that are available to help an artist get their music in front of a wider audience and provide them with strategies for long-term growth across many platforms. That being said, sections of this book will still be similar to the 1st edition with its focus on playlists and curation. In addition, you'll see a focus on online presence, data, tools, and all of the things that can help an artist to grow. Without further ado, welcome to Work Hard, Playlist Hard, the 2nd edition. Here we go. Types of playlists. What is a playlist? A playlist is a list of songs that can be listened to through a DSP. The playlist can be listened to either sequentially or in a shuffled order. DSP means Digital Service Provider. A DSP can be a retail store like iTunes or a music streaming provider such as Spotify, Apple Music, or Deezer. Playlists have existed for many years in many mediums, from cassette tapes to radio, but we will exclusively be referring to playlists on DSPs. Playlists can help a new audience to discover your music through association. Similar to changing stations on your TV or radio stations in your car, playlists offer a variety of music from both independent and label artists. Over 75,000 songs are added to a DSP every single day in the United States alone. Let that sink in for a second. Playlists help you to stand out from all of the other songs. Think of them as a public showcase of music with uncapped potential reach. Artists have found themselves being able to create major tours, sign lucrative record deals, gain placement in films and television shows, and even quit their day jobs. These and many other stories are becoming more common as artists find a way to monetize their craft and be strategic with playlist pitching to ensure their music reaches as many ears as possible. There are countless types of playlists out there. Each playlist has a different kind of value and method required. Editorial playlists. Editorial playlists are curated by staff who work directly for the streaming platform. These can provide significant streaming numbers but should not be your only goal, as these curators rarely communicate with artists and their support is never guaranteed. While some of these editorial curators don't have a strong online presence, there are a few exceptions. How can I find an editorial playlist? Editorial playlists are easily identified because the curator username matches the DSP. Spotify, for example, will show created by Spotify on each playlist that they own. As an exercise, take a look at the following editorial playlists: Ideally, you should follow playlists that you would like to see your music placed on. This helps you to get a better understanding of what the editors are looking for. On Amazon Music, all hits, country heat, pop culture. On Apple Music, Dance XL, New Music Daily, today's hits. On Deezer, acoustic pop, Deezer hits, urban hits. On Spotify, Beast Mode, Mint, Peaceful Piano, today's top hits. On YouTube Music, Alternative Hot List, Highline R&B, Pop Hot List. Who are these editorial curators? While most editorial curators fly under the radar and prefer to remain a mystery, there are a few that are active on social media. Follow them and familiarize yourself with what they are looking for. Then, when the time is right, make your move. User-generated playlists. Also known as third-party playlists, these are curated by regular users like yourself who make their playlists public for anyone to follow and stream. By making a connection with the owners of these playlists, you may have a better chance of receiving future support from them. One benefit of user-generated playlists is that you have an opportunity to find that user and connect with them through social media, email, or other means. They are usually a lot more accessible than editorial curators. How can I find a user playlist? If you look at the Created By section, under the description you will see a name. Click on that name and it will take you to their profile. You will clearly see the word user on their profile. How do I contact the curator? Here are a few strategies to try and locate playlist owners. Of course, these are only suggestions and may not work for every person. The first one is a sneaky tactic I've found works in some instances. Google image search. Google allows you to take a screenshot of the user's profile picture, then upload it to Google and search for matching instances of that image. If the photo is a unique photo of that person, you may find links to their social media or website in the search results. People tend to use the same profile picture across all social media. Visit images.google.com to use this feature. Facebook. Spotify allows users to sign in with their Facebook credentials, which also uses their current Facebook profile photo and name on their Spotify profile. A quick Facebook search can often match the name and photo to the profile in Spotify. Chartmetric. Chartmetric has data for millions of playlists across various DSPs. When possible, the website and social media URLs for the curator will be listed. This can be useful when trying to find a way to contact the curator through social media. Brand playlists. Many brands have utilized playlists to reach their customers outside of their stores. Brand playlists keep customers connected and offer some nice benefits in the way of free advertising. For example, Nike has running playlists. Disney has sing-along playlists. Starbucks has a latte playlists. See what I did there? Celebrities or influencers can also be verified with a brand account. Those are usually very hard to contact without having a direct contact with the management company. Who runs these brand playlists? Usually someone on the marketing team is in charge of curation. However, there are some companies that have a music department which oversees live performances, as well as music for TV commercials and playlists. The best way to find a lead is by doing a quick internet search. There's often at least one blog post that spotlights their curators. Background music services. Ask your parents, or maybe even grandparents, what Muzak is, and you may be surprised. This is not a new thing. Background music, also known as in-store or overhead music, has been around for many years. Fortunately, music has evolved from elevator music to feature various music from independent to established artists. This is free money, as I like to say. Most background music services will only add music that is directly licensed to them, meaning the only way to get your music played in stores they service and to get paid for that play is to license your music to them. This doesn't mean that they own your music, it means that they have permission to use it. Of course, always read any contract. Imagine shopping in Macy's, hearing your song blasting through the speakers, and seeing someone whip out their phone to Shazam it. This additional exposure can lead to a growing fan base on Apple Music and Spotify and other platforms. Shazam now even allows users to directly stream songs previously Shazammed in full. This counts as a play, and you can even add your, quote, my Shazammed tracks, end quote, playlist on both services. To get you started, I have listed a selection of background music services that have previously accepted submissions from me. Reach out via their general email on their website, first asking for their music submission process. Once you have the correct contact information, follow up with your most recent single only. If they like your latest release and want your whole back catalogue of music, they will ask you. Don't send everything in the first email. Mood Media, Nightlife Music, Play Network, RX Music, Sound Machine, Soundtrack Your Brand, Stingray Music, and Store Play. Tastemaker playlists. These are much more rare to see. In Spotify, when you go to a user's profile, instead of seeing user next to their profile photo, it will say Tastemaker. Rumor has it that tastemakers have earned this status through solid curation. Why are tastemakers so valuable? Spotify doesn't go into great detail about tastemakers, but it's believed that if a tastemaker places a song, this could contribute to a song's placement across various editorial playlists. Where can I find tastemakers? Spotify used to show tastemakers in the Browse section of the app. There used to be a section called Who to Follow that suggested friends and other curators, but this has since been removed. The only current way is to simply ask around and look at the profile page for every user. If you see Tastemaker, copy that URL and add it to a spreadsheet. Start keeping track of these as you come across them. Algorithmic playlists. Curated by robots, fed by metadata, these playlists deliver music to each user based on their listening habits and taste. These playlists include Release Radar, Discover Weekly, and Your Daily Mix on Spotify. One of the best ways to make sure your music has every opportunity to be heard on these playlists is by adding as much detail as possible. When filling out editorial submission forms and uploading the music through your distributor, be sure to always include as much detail as possible. Personalized editorial. These playlists are curated by staff, but playlist songs and order are customized for each listener. For example, if you and someone next to you both open Spotify and follow the playlist called Weekend Hangouts, the playlist will be different for each of you. This is because Spotify creates a pool of up to 600 songs that are available for each personalized editorial playlist, depending on the listener. Each listener's playlist is then capped at around 100 songs, resulting in a very different and personalized experience for each individual listener. The good thing about these playlists is that there are more opportunities for more artists to get heard from these playlists because the bank of music is larger. Distributor playlists. It's not uncommon for record labels and distributors to also curate their own playlists. Here are a few examples. Topsify, Filter, Digster. Other distributors also curate under their own names: CD Baby, Ditto, DistroKid, and TuneCore. Artist playlists. Artist playlists can grow very quickly with the right network of supportive fans. These are extremely valuable as the artist has full control over the music that is featured. It's not uncommon for artists that are no longer creating new music to still have well-maintained playlists. These playlists will always be a home for fans to enjoy their music. Plus, if the playlist has a significant following, it is highly valuable to the artist's manager or label who can include songs from similar artists in the playlist to give them a boost as well. Update your playlist regularly. Contributed by Nina Las Vegas. When promoting my own playlist on Spotify, I've found that consistency is key. People return to your playlist if they know you update it regularly. As someone who follows a lot of playlists to find new music, I know I get annoyed when they're barely refreshed. So I try to keep that mentality when working on my own. My Track IDs playlist is updated every 2 weeks, and I make sure to promote it across as many platforms as possible. Every 2 weeks, I do a little drawing, something that my followers have become familiar with since Instagram started. I always tag the smaller, emerging artists in my posts when I share, as those are the people that are most excited to share their placements. These days, with TikTok also driving a lot of playlisting awareness, I film myself drawing each little promo tile and post that on the platform. Nina's Track IDs playlist can be found on Spotify. Find out more about Nina at ninalasvegas.com. Podcast and blog playlists. Contributed by Bree Noble. Many podcasts and blogs, especially if they are based on a particular theme, curate playlists from the songs they feature. As the founder of the Women of Substance Music podcast, I produce several themed podcast episodes each year that I curate into playlists. Some examples include the Love Songs for Valentine's series, the Music with a Conscience series, and my Holiday series. Since the podcast is already curated with high-quality music around a very specific theme, combining the songs from the series into a playlist is a perfect fit. I don't just promote the playlists through my own channels. I get all the artists on board promoting it to their fans, asking them to like, listen, and share because it benefits everyone. So when submitting music to a podcast or blog, search Spotify to see if that platform also creates playlists. These are very worthwhile opportunities to pursue because they offer a double dose of exposure. Find out more about Bree at breenoble.com. Let's get social. If you haven't already, sign up for the following social media accounts. If you are against social media, it's time to suck it up and accept that for many people in this industry, it is the fastest way to make initial contact, forge a friendship, find your fans, and continue the relationship when they stop streaming. Here are 5 platforms, at the very least, you should claim a username on: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. Use the same username for all services. This is important for consistency and helping people find you. If you are found at jsmithtunes on Instagram, then your Twitter handle should be at jsmithtunes. Make it easy for your fans from your other platforms to tweet, mention, or follow you. To keep it consistent, do a quick check on all social media sites before locking in your username. For example, go to facebook.com/jsmithtunes, instagram.com/jsmithtunes, etc. to see if the username is available. You can do this from a web browser much more quickly than by searching in the apps. Here's a site you can use to check out all of the socials at the same time. Checkusernames.com. If any new social media apps or sites launch after this book is released, please also sign up for those. Even if it is just to claim your unique username, if a new social media platform takes off, you want to have your handle locked in, just in case. Of course, I'm not going to tell you to sign up and then, quote, get to work, end quote. Below are tips on creating a good social media profile and where and how to find your first contacts. Once you've found them, don't do anything yet. Write them down on that piece of paper I had you grab earlier. Golden rules when creating profiles on social media. Give professional information and use a name you are serious about. Your real name or artist name should be what you lead with on your public pages. Use a real photo of your face. Show that you are a real person. Don't post crowd shots or a picture of the back of your head staring into the sunset. Don't use fake credentials. Don't undersell yourself either. If you have been producing music for 2 weeks, don't include that in your bio. You can try something else like music producer from Australia. If people want to know more, they will ask you. It's important to let your audience know which platforms you are most active on. That way, if they use multiple social media platforms, they know which one they are going to see the most content from you on. As an author and executive, I post most frequently on LinkedIn. That's the platform where I spend most of my time, and that's the one I promote first. Artists may find themselves more frequently on Instagram, Twitch, or Twitter. Put some thought into what kinds of posts you put on each platform. For example, behind-the-scenes studio photos work best on Instagram. Quick, spontaneous thoughts work great for Twitter. And achievements and professional developments are most appropriate for LinkedIn. Make a plan and grind it out. Contributed by Troy Carter Jr. My advice to all artists across the globe would be to set an intention. Set intent for your career, outline the direction you want to go in, and get everybody on your team on the same page. Walk, run, or fly in that direction, but have a direction. The game is more competitive than it's ever been. Ultimately, you have to be intentional with everything that you're doing. This includes the music that you are releasing, the time you release it, when your music videos are coming out, what you're posting on social media. There's an underlying myth that you just kind of, quote, make it, end quote, which is never the case. Anybody you see that is very successful today got there through a very deliberate plan of action. Even though releases may seem spontaneous, they aren't. They are extremely calculated, and artists at every level have to adapt to the climate of the industry we're in. My advice is to set some intent, write a plan, and then grind it out. Good luck to everybody reading. I'm doing the same thing. Find out more about Troy at diamondent.org. Record Labels versus Distributors. Contributed by Jay Gilbert. People often refer to major labels when they mean major music groups and/or major distributors. Distributor examples include Ingrooves, The Orchid, Symphonic, or DistroKid. Label examples include Atlantic, Sub Pop, New West, and None Such. The terms label and distributor are frequently used interchangeably. The truth is, they are completely different animals with very little overlap of roles and responsibilities. Let's look at the differences. Generally speaking, distributors typically handle global digital distribution and monetization, physical and digital product release coordination, best practices and troubleshooting across DSPs and social platforms, surface insights and analytics on release performance, pitching to DSPs for playlists and marketing platforms, content ID and channel optimization on YouTube, social media verifications, rights management, pitching for syncs, potentially, pseudo videos, a cover image with audio bed. Generally speaking, labels typically handle release strategy and marketing plan, radio, photography, sync licensing, placing advertising, full digital marketing strategy, online assets, music videos and lyric videos, events except in-store events. Find out more about Jay at label-logic.net. Artist profiles and DSP tools. Even if you only have one song released, this is crucial. It's essential to have a profile with as much information as possible. If your song gets in front of the editorial team at a major streaming service, your artist profile is the first thing they will see. If you have a photo, brief biography, and an artist playlist, you'll be well ahead of other artists who don't. In the first edition of this book, I shared direct links to artist portals on each DSP and urged you to sign up. Since then, the amount of tools that are provided for artists have gone far beyond simply the ability to upload a profile photo and a bio. A lot of DSPs are also providing a suite of marketing tools that can be used. The best part is that these tools are provided absolutely free. As such, something that was once just a single chapter is now going to be a significant portion of this book. I highly suggest creating a quick checklist as we go to make sure that you have claimed your artist profile on each platform and you are aware of the tools and features that they offer. Please be aware that not every streaming platform and tool will be covered in this book. These are the platforms I have had experience using and feel comfortable sharing. It's also worth noting that since the previous edition, Google Play has now been shut down and replaced by YouTube Music. Spotify. Spotify for artists. Requesting access to Spotify for artists was quite a challenge initially. Artists would need a minimum of 250 followers on Spotify and would have to answer a series of questions, then wait 4+ weeks hoping for a response. Fortunately, this process has become much quicker and various music distributors offer a way to get access almost instantly. Let's go through the steps here. Visit artists.spotify.com and click Get Access. On the next screen, continue. Type in the artist name or paste the artist's Spotify link in the search box. Click on the artist name from the search results. On the next screen, you will see one of two options. Option number 1. If your distributor has a connection with Spotify, they will have a way for you to fast-track the verification process. This can save you lots of waiting time and sometimes give instant access. If presented with this option, take it. Option 2. Log in with your Spotify account, free or premium, and continue with the manual verification process. After following the above steps, you will either receive instant verification or an email detailing when you can expect to receive access. Spotify Artist Profile. Profile and banner photo. Profile and banner photos capture people's attention when they view your profile. It shows that you have taken the time to update your profile and make this into a home for your fans. Avoid text and logos in your photo. Keep in mind parts of the photos will be cropped, so there may be some trial and error with uploading different images to find your perfect fit. We had to upload a few different images before finding the right one for our artist profile for date night. About. In this section, you can add multiple photos, a bio, and social media links. Image gallery. Uploading photos to the image gallery is extremely important. By uploading, you are giving Spotify permission to use these images in various marketing communications such as release radar, new release announcements, and upcoming shows in your city, which are sent out through email. Spotify can also use an image if you have uploaded at least one in your profile. It can lead to some awesome free marketing, so upload these photos. As an example, we have seen our images used in email blasts from Spotify announcing upcoming concerts and shows, as well as emails sharing new releases for that week. Bio. A biography tells your story and helps new fans to learn a little more about you and your music. While editing your bio, you can type @ and link to any other artist, playlist, song, or album on Spotify. Can't find the right artist in the search results? You can type @ and paste the Spotify URI or URL directly after to make sure you link to the correct source. Artist's Pick. The Artist's Pick feature allows you to showcase a song, album, podcast, playlist, fundraiser, or concert at the top of your artist profile. This is a great way to promote a new single or playlist. Each pick expires after 14 days, so make a note in your calendar to update these every 2 weeks. Bonus tip. It's rumored Spotify see what artists have set as their artist pick. Perhaps feature an editorial playlist you've got your eye on to get their attention, or as a way to publicly say thank you to a curator. More info. This is where you can link fans to your social media where they can also follow you and learn more about you. As a listener, when I find a new artist I like on Spotify, I often follow them. Then I click through to their social media and I follow them there as well. This is another way to capture new fans and continue to engage with them on other platforms. Current platforms include Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Wikipedia. Spotify promo cards. This allows you to create a quick custom graphic to share on social media. You can share a milestone, for example, 25,000 followers, or a new song, even a podcast episode. You can change the color and size to square, portrait, or landscape. You will also receive a link that you can share. While there is no current indication these links are tracked, it's safe to assume you may be able to see how many people click your customized links in future. This tool is available at promocards.buyspotify.com. You can now create milestone cards for reaching 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, all the way up to 10 million followers on Spotify. You can also create these for chart milestones, new releases, live shows, and dozens of eligible editorial playlist ads. Spotify Canvas. Spotify has a cool feature called Canvas. These are 8-second vertical video loops, or visuals, that show when a song is playing. You can see these in the Now Playing view in the Spotify mobile app. As of February 2021, all artists can now create a canvas for songs through the Spotify for Artists app, on the web, or on their phone. Spotify even has a Canvas designer category on their Sound Better platform, which helps artists find a designer to create a canvas for them. You can create yours at canvas.spotify.com. Spotify and Songkick. Spotify has an integration with Songkick, which allows artists to list their shows and live streams via the On Tour tab on their Spotify profile. Concerts and live streams can be added to Songkick using the Songkick toolbox, which can be found at tourbox.songkick.com/artists. Live streams are not instantly added and need to be approved by the Songkick team before they will appear. This can take a few days, so make sure to list these as early as possible. Songkick can be connected by logging into Spotify for Artists and going to Profile, then Concerts. Once concerts are displaying correctly on an artist profile, they can also be highlighted as the artist pick at the top of the artist profile. Spotify Lyric Search. Did you know that you can search for a song in Spotify by entering some of its lyrics? Let's say a fan heard a song on the radio or in a TikTok post. If they didn't catch the name, they can type in some of the lyrics they remember. For example, if I heard a song with the words "Little Blue Balloon," I could enter it into the search and get results for that for any song that includes those lyrics. Spotify Lyrics Search is powered by Music's Match. If you don't have an artist profile on Music's Match, you'll need to upload and deliver the lyrics to Spotify and have them indexed and searchable on Spotify. This is extremely valuable for discovery as it presents another way that fans can find your music. Lyric search is different from synchronized lyrics, which scroll to show lyrics in time with the music, similar to karaoke. Spotify Artist Playlists. Spotify allows you to feature any playlist on an artist page under the Artist Playlists section. While there is no way to curate a playlist using your public artist profile, you can curate a playlist from your regular Spotify account as a user, make it public, and feature that on an artist profile. Some artists use this section to highlight playlists their music has been supported on and playlists they would like to see their music featured on in the future. Here's how to add artist playlists using your computer. First, log into Spotify for Artists on your desktop. Go to Profile and scroll down to Artist Playlists and click the plus button. From here, type the name of the playlist or paste the Spotify link into the search box. Click on the playlist name to add it. Repeat this step to add multiple playlists. You can also rearrange the order by clicking and dragging and then click Save. The process is similar on your phone. Log into the Spotify for Artists app on your phone, tap the profile icon, and scroll down to Artist Playlists and tap on Edit. Tap Add Playlist, type the name of the playlist into the search box, tap on the playlist to add it. You can press and drag to rearrange the order, click Save once you're done. Now the next time you go to the artist profile in the Spotify app and scroll down, you will see these playlists under the Artist Playlists section. Spotify Editorial Playlist Pitching. Spotify submission forms were floating around the web for a few years. For the fortunate few artists that located these mysterious Google forms, the links were closely guarded and rarely shared. With major labels and distributors able to pitch priority releases to Spotify and their editorial team through other means, many independent artists express their feelings of being left out in the cold. Now, all users of Spotify for Artists have the opportunity to submit a song to the relevant editorial team. If you have an upcoming release that has been uploaded by a distributor but is not out yet, you will see an option at the top of your Spotify Artists dashboard allowing you to submit a song. If your upcoming release is an album, you will only be able to submit one song from the album. Click Pitch from Next Release to get started. You can also find eligible songs by navigating to the Music tab and then clicking Upcoming. From here, you can click Pitch a Song. Once you submit a song, Spotify will ask you to add details relating to the genre and subgenre. You can also share mood, moment, and even the location associated with your release. In the submission form, it's important to add as much detail as possible. This information is attached to your song and will help it to be delivered to the right audience. For instance, if you create beautiful instrumental piano music, you want to make sure it reaches the classical editorial team. Correct information means your song will be delivered to various listeners through editorial and algorithmic playlists and artist radio stations in Spotify. In the next screen, you can add a city. While this can be your hometown, it's best to choose a city where your music has the strongest cultural connection, even if it's not your hometown or current city. You can also describe your song for Spotify using 500 characters or less. This is where you tell a compelling and short story about the song. If you don't have a marketing budget, there's no need to mention it. If you can't craft a good short story about your song, play it to someone who has not heard it before and ask them to describe it in a few sentences. Bonus tip: Spotify has also released a large number of additional genres to choose from when submitting music. Previously, artists with a niche genre found it tough to find an exact match when submitting. While there is currently a mind-blowing 5,521 genre-shaped distinctions on Spotify at the time of writing, not all will be available on the submission form. You can find most of these genres at everynoise.com. I have included an example from a successful pitch below. In this case, I am terrible with words, so I asked the featured singer-songwriter to write something compelling. This is what they wrote. Love, just like the phone on which it's often sparked, seems to fall prey to planned obsolescence. Long after the club lights cool, after all the sweaty clothes come off, after a dozen broken hearts and 100 bad decisions, you wouldn't fault a person these days for their suspicion of commitment. Then again, that might also be the moment someone's finally ready. It's safe to say that that pitch was well received as the song ended up on two massive editorial playlists on Spotify, Pop Chill Out and Weekend Hangouts. Spotify Release Radar Reach. One very important piece of information that is often overlooked is that your song will be added into Release Radar for all of your followers if you submit at least 7 business days before release day. Here's what's great about this. If you have 5,000 followers, that equals 5,000 Release Radar playlists that your song will be added to that week. If you've submitted for playlist consideration at least 7 days in advance, your track will automatically be shared to your followers on their Release Radar playlist on release day. Songs that are submitted fewer than 7 days in advance are not guaranteed placement on Release Radar. It's also worth noting that if you do a separate release for a remix of your song, it is not guaranteed Release Radar placement. Only original songs uploaded for the first time are guaranteed. Spotify Marquee campaigns. Spotify Marquee allows artists to create a full-screen sponsored recommendation for new releases. The Marquee will display in the app with a prompt to listen to the new album release. A Marquee can be scheduled up to 18 days after a song has been released. At time of writing, Marquee is not available in all countries and there are some minimum requirements that have to be met to be eligible. Artists must have more than 15,000 streams over the last 28 days in the United States. Marquee can only be created for new releases. If promoting an album, 50% or more of the songs must be new and never previously released. The artist's distributor must have enabled Marquee. To see if a Marquee can be created, log into Spotify for Artists. Campaigns will be visible along the top menu. Please note that Marquee is a paid option for artists that want to promote their music directly within the Spotify app. Spotify for Artists stats. Spotify for Artists has a great amount of detail for where the streams and listeners from your music come from. You can see the location of those listeners, which playlists the streams come from, and if people are listening directly from your artist profile. While it can be addictive to open the app and check your stats several times a day, keep in mind that these numbers only update once every 24 hours. The only exception here is in the Spotify for Artists app. Immediately after a new song is released, the live stream count shows for the first 7 days and updates every 2 seconds to show the total number of streams. Bonus tip, some artists have found a way to incorporate this count into a live stream on social media. It's a fun way to get your audience excited by sharing updates with them. Spotify Fan Engagement, contributed by Mark Tavern. Improving your marketing means understanding each DSP's ecosystem and implementing strategies and tactics designed for how the platform works. With Spotify, this means better understanding its AI, specifically its algorithmic playlisting and recommendations, and tailoring your marketing to put the platform to work for you. Marketers often talk about push and pull. These are general terms that describe how marketing messages are sent and received. When a brand uses push marketing, they put their message directly in front of consumers through advertising or other promotions. Push marketing is active. Conversely, pull marketing is passive, with marketers trying to draw customers to them organically. As an artist, understanding and implementing both strategies is key. While there are humans making decisions about Spotify's platform, the AI is paying attention to everything happening on it as well. Knowing this means being able to take advantage of Spotify in ways that help both push and pull tactics. Doing so allows you to implement an integrated plan. Push marketing drives followers to your music and engages Spotify's algorithmic playlisting. This in turn generates pull marketing on your behalf via Spotify's recommendations. Lots of effort goes into trying to get onto third-party and editorial playlists, and both are important for generating attention. However, creating your own inbound traffic is important too. This is the push part of your strategy. Run campaigns that share links customized for individual services from each of your social platforms. This increases the focus on your music. If you can get enough fans to click through, there will be a spike in traffic when multiple users listen simultaneously. Driving this off-platform traffic to Spotify will be detected, and if you make the spike big enough, the chance your music gets added to an algorithmic playlist increases. This highlights the importance of release day messaging. Release day is the best moment to focus attention on your music. Sharing a link is one way, and the right call to action will get followers to click through and listen. There are other methods too, including making your own playlist that includes a focus track and then sharing the playlist link, running a pre-save campaign, using Spotify's artist pick, and encouraging influencers to point their followers to your music. Be creative here. These methods all demonstrate push marketing, putting links to your music directly in front of your fans. These are effective tactics, not just on their own, but in how they can get Spotify actively working for you through algorithmic playlisting. Driving traffic that triggers Spotify's algorithmic playlists should be half of your plan. The other half is making its recommendation engine work for you. One of the things I tell both clients and students about marketing is that they need to identify their audience. Targeting makes for more efficient marketing, as identifying the people who are interested makes it easier and cheaper to reach them. Spotify does this automatically. Each user has a Discover Weekly playlist tailored to their individual listening habits. There are recommendations on user homepages and via the Fans Also Like section on artist pages. Introducing new music to users is an important feature. It draws users to the platform and keeps them engaged. Use this information as part of your own audience targeting. If Spotify identifies your music as similar to another artist, then there is a good chance that artist's listeners will be interested in your music as well. Once you can generate the kind of traffic that Spotify notices, your music will begin to appear in algorithmic playlists generated for users who have listened to similar artists. This is Spotify's recommendation AI working and where your pull marketing comes in. Be ready for these potential fans. Their initial point of contact is through your profile, so make sure it is optimized. Take an inventory. Are the photos and bio on Spotify up to date and on brand? Are you utilizing social badges so followers who hear your music on Spotify for the first time can click through and follow you off platform? Are you utilizing the artist pick as a way to get mailing list signups or direct potential fans to other sites you control? Are you displaying tour dates and selling merch? If your push marketing is working, ensure your pull marketing is too. Provide as many ways for new listeners to engage with you on platform as possible, and then ensure they are drawn to your own sites. Remember, pull marketing isn't forced. Create the conditions by which your target audience can act and find you. Having a fully optimized, up-to-date profile accomplishes this. It's easy to think of DSPs as a goal, that your marketing ends with them. In actuality, DSPs are also a means to your marketing, enabling you to utilize their individual features as part of your efforts. By fully understanding how a platform works, you can take better advantage of it, turning it into an opportunity. Spotify's AI can be a part of this, a place not just to send existing fans to listen, but one where you can target new fans and get them listening as well. Done right, these can be intertwined, creating an endless feedback in which Spotify's AI becomes a key element in your own marketing. Find out more about Mark at marktavern.com. Spotify Collaborative Playlists. In the Spotify app on your phone, you can create a collaborative playlist and add users as collaborators. This is safer than sharing a link, as anyone who has the link will be able to access and add and remove songs on your playlist. To set these up on your phone or tablet, tap on your library. Go to Playlists and select the one you want to collaborate on. Keep in mind you can only do this for a playlist you've already created. Tap the Add User button in the header to make the playlist collaborative. Start inviting others to add songs and podcast episodes on social media, messaging apps, or simply by copying and pasting the link. Spotify deleted playlists recovery. If you have deleted a playlist in Spotify, you have 90 days to retrieve it. Here's how. Log into spotify.com/account. Click Recover Playlists in the menu on the left. Click Restore. Open Spotify and you will find the restored playlist at the bottom of your playlist collection. Bonus tip. So far, recovering a recently deleted playlist may also recover all followers of that playlist. This is extremely valuable for accidental deletions and saves you from starting all the way back at zero. Spotify Fans Also Like section. If you visit an artist profile on Spotify and look at the Fans Also Like tab, you may be wondering how these related artists are being generated. According to Spotify, the Fans Also Like tab on your artist profile is determined by algorithms using a combination of your fans' listening habits, music discussions, and trends happening around the internet. If you've recently had your music added to Spotify, or perhaps you had to request a separation of your music from an artist with the same name, there is a good chance your Fans Also Like artists could be way off. For instance, I worked with a house music producer who shares a name with a children's singer. For obvious reasons, he swiftly wanted to correct his related artists. To correct the related artists, Thomas Garcia signed up for an account with Last.fm. The next step was logging into Last.fm, going to Settings, then Applications, and opting to connect for Spotify Scrobbling and Spotify Playback. Last.fm will keep track of your listening history within Spotify and will automatically start to piece together other users' listening history. My suggestion is to create a new playlist, say 20 or 30 songs long, including music from both the artist and similar artists you'd like to be related with. Next, share this with friends or fans and ask them to play it through once or twice. Remember, only once or twice, no cheating the system unless you want to see your music removed from Spotify. Just make sure your listeners log into their Last.fm account and connect to Spotify first. If all goes well, as it did in my experiment, within a few weeks, you may see your related artists start to change and hopefully be more relevant to your music. Spotify's personalized playlists, contributed by Chris Robley. Don't ignore the power of personalized playlists. It's easy to get distracted by the big official editorial lists that have thousands or millions of followers. It's even easier to get discouraged if you don't end up on one of them. Spotify's system is constantly working in the background to deliver your music to the right listeners, one listener at a time. That might not feel like a big win or a huge headline, but it does help you make a connection. It helps you make fans one person at a time. For my last single, something like 60% of my overall streams were driven by algorithmic activity. For the first 28 days, when Release Radar was delivering the bulk of that interaction, I was getting great engagements too. Not quantity, but quality. Do I wish I had a huge quantity of streams? Of course, but it's rare to get the former without the latter, and at least the people who did hear the song were enjoying it. At the end of the day, thanks to Spotify's recommendation engine, that's a kind of success. Find out more about Chris at chrisrobley.com. Spotify Playlist Cleanup. Take a look at your playlists. There's a good chance some of them are in need of a little TLC. Here are some good tools I use to make sure my playlists are always in good order. Removing duplicate songs. Spotify Dedupe, DEDUP, is a nifty website that removes duplicated songs from your playlists and saves songs. You can find this by doing a quick Google search for Spotify DEDUP. Removing unavailable tracks. Some songs have since been removed from Spotify or are only available in certain countries. To some users, they will appear grayed out and unplayable. Here's how to find and remove them. On the desktop app, go into Settings and select Show Unavailable Songs in Playlists. Any Spotify user can turn this option on and see songs in the playlist that are not available in their territory or have since been removed from Spotify, but not yet removed from your playlist. It's a good opportunity to clean up your playlist. Spotify Genre List. Every Noise at Once can be found at everynoise.com. It is a deep dive into music genres, songs by city, and so much more. I use this to discover new genres. Emo trap or pirate metal, anyone? Here's the explanation directly from their website. Every Noise at Once is an ongoing attempt at an algorithmically generated, readability-adjusted scatter plot of the musical genre space based on data tracked and analyzed for 5,521 genres by Spotify. Yep, you heard that correctly. 5,521 genres at time of writing. Every Noise was created by Glenn MacDonald. Glenn is Spotify's genre taxonomist and shares some mind-blowing data through this website and at Every Noise on Twitter. Spotify Search Shortcuts. Spotify Search is commonly used for finding songs, artists, lyrics, and playlists, but there is so much more you can do. These search keywords are particularly useful when finding music from a specific record label, genre, release, or within a specific year or range of years. All of the keywords mentioned are to be entered into the Spotify search bar, and you would type in the text with no spaces between them. To search by a record label name, you would type label, record label name. If the record label is multiple words, for example, Tommy Boy, you would add a plus between each word. Your search string would then be label, Tommy plus boy, once again with no spaces between them. The same can be applied to search by genre. You can type genre, the genre's name. And the same can also be achieved searching by year. You would type year, the year number. If you would like to search in a year range, you would type year, the first year, hyphen the second year. For example, year, 2012, hyphen 2018. You can use this to create a best of 1990s playlist, or even a playlist dedicated to your favorite record label and or genre. By using these keywords, you will be able to discover or rediscover many songs for your playlists. In the search results, you can then sort by artist name or song title. This will help with the sorting process as you will see multiple releases featuring the same song. You don't want to add multiple versions of your song into your playlist. Bonus tip. It's much easier to click and drag these into your playlist as you discover them. Alternatively, you can right-click on the song and then choose the playlist you would like to add it to. Spotify Listener Apps. There's lots of quirky, fun, and useful apps that have been created for Spotify listeners. Here's a few worth checking out. Stations by Spotify, stations.spotify.com, an endless radio stream powered by Spotify. Spotify for Pets, pets.byspotify.com. Get your pet playlist, music for our best friends. Soundtrack Your Workout, soundtrackyourworkout.byspotify.com uses your listening habits and inputs to create the perfect mix for your workout. Soundtrack Your Ride, soundtrackyourride.byspotify.com allows you to sync up, customize, and get the perfect playlist for your ride. Spotify Duo, the ultimate love experience. duolovesongs.byspotify.com. Create a personalized love playlist for your relationship. Spotify Kids. Explore the Kids app.byspotify.com. Sample songs from the Kids app via your favorite emojis. Rap Caviar Day One Club. Day1club.byspotify.com. Prove which rappers you've been listening to the longest on Spotify. Spotify High Intensity Interval Training. Pumped.byspotify.com. Create a personalized high-intensity interval training workout and exercise with the music you love. Spotify Fan Study. fanstudy.byspotify.com. A super detailed study into fan behavior and how it translates into Spotify. The first study showed how many fans come to Spotify from links shared on LinkedIn, Discord, and other platforms.